the most interesting things that I find quite daunting, in fact, with individuals who are enablers. Okay, now, of course, I'm going to differentiate, like I always do, between the enablers and the flying monkeys. Okay, an enabler is a person that, or a group of people, okay, because it could be a family, it could be friends, co-workers, people that you attend church with, what have you. An enabler is an individual that is quite reasonable and rational, okay? They're not as much like the flying monkeys, because the flying monkeys are fully aware. These are individuals that are fully aware that the narcissist is lying on you, okay? This is a person who knows that the narcissist is an absolutely vindictive and malicious person, and so are they, okay? These are the kind of people that partake in things that they know are inappropriate. These are the kind of people that break laws. These are the kind of people that are willing to unalive a person for the narcissist. These are the kind of people who are pretty much the Walmart, or they're basically the value brand in the supermarket to the narcissist, okay? So the narcissist is the brand, okay? This is the brains of the operation, but these are the ones that are actually foolish enough, without a doubt, to actually just go along with whatever it is that the narcissist is telling them to do for whatever reason they choose to do it. And sometimes they just simply enjoy doing it, okay? Now, enablers are individuals who are a little bit more tricky for the narcissist. These are the kind of people that are quite rational. They are the kind of people that somewhat can determine certain aspects about another individual, meaning that they're not oblivious to things. They're not idiots, okay? They're not the kind of people that will just basically, kind of just go with evil, okay? They're not the kind of people that are gonna just think to themselves to go and bully people. Now, flying monkeys, on the other hand, they're down for whatever, okay? So with an enabler, there has to be a lot of convincing an enabler to partake in certain things, okay? And not that anyone should be partaking in anything, but with an enabler in general, what has to happen is they have to see you as a victim behave a certain way, okay? And this is the reason why the narcissist does everything possible to make you appear a certain way. This is why they have to tell elaborate tales. Narcissistic individuals are completely aware of their behavior, okay? They may not know, in fact, that they are narcissists, but they do know that they do plot, plan, scheme, and do everything possible to harm a victim, okay? They're very strategic. They are the kind of people that are orchestrators, okay? So orchestrators are the kind of people that will basically paint a narrative to make things look a particular way based off the person's lifestyle, the way that the person, presents themselves, the way that they dress, the way that an individual, how they live financially. They just paint this entire storyline by the person's race and different things of that sort, okay? So this orchestrating is something that they have to do with enablers, because enablers are people that typically have empathy, you guys, okay? They are the people that truly do have compassion, but they're very unhealthy with their empathy. So that is when toxic empathy comes in. Toxic empathy is when a person doesn't, identify the fact that they are being manipulated, okay? Toxic empathy is when they actually feel empathy for the person because the individual had to manipulate them. That is what toxic empathy is, okay? Where you're feeling sorry for the person being malicious. You're feeling sorry for the person for being evil and different things of that sort. That is what toxic empathy is. Toxic empathy is when you feel sorry for an individual mistreating you, okay? So what tends to happen is with an enabler, is the narcissist has to paint a very convincing story about you. They have to study you to the max in order to get the enabler's support, okay? Now, the thing is about it with narcissistic individuals is that when they get the enabler, because remember, the enabler are people that are more rational, okay? These are the kind of people that can see things and they're like, okay, this person, meaning you, the victim, is the problem. So the narcissist has to do things to make you look a specific way. Some of these things involve them slandering you and gossiping about you. And they're hoping, like in most cases, people think that narcissistic people don't want people to hear that they're gossiping about you. And some of the reason they may not want people to hear it at the beginning, meaning that they may not want you to hear it, okay, as a victim. They may not want you to hear it, but they certainly want others to hear it, okay? So the reason why they may not want you to hear it at the initial of the one-sided, whatever altercation this is that you guys are having. Sometimes you're in an altercation with a narcissist because you've done something, that offended the narcissist, okay? But the narcissist never spoke to you about it. Maybe you don't, know exactly what you did to the narcissist because they haven't said anything about it. Or maybe you may not even know the narcissist at all, because there are people who will simply, do things like that and they have no idea who you are, So with that being said, whatever your narrative is with this narcissist or relation to the narcissist is going to basically indicate to you where you stand with them. Okay, so they may not want you to know that they're gossiping about you, that they're the one that's actually doing the gossiping, because they want an entryway into your life to do further damage. Okay, so they'll say little things about you. They'll put little insinuations. Some of them know that enablers, are the kind of people that aren't really going to see them in a positive light if they directly just go out bashing you. Okay, so they'll put little insinuations about you. Oh, I'm just a little bit worried about her. I'm concerned about her. I don't know. I just feel that, there's something not quite right. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating. Oh, I saw her doing something and it just kind of like put a little thought in my head, and she's always so quiet. Like maybe she has a lot of male friends. Did you notice that she has a lot of male friends? Oh my gosh, did you notice how she does this specific thing during choir rehearsal when so-and-so sings? And none of this stuff is actually true. Okay. But what they do is they just want to give people a reason to look at you, give people a reason to study you. They find things that are natural attributes about you, like especially if you are someone who has the resting face, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. And when you are someone that has the resting face, they will accuse you of being standoffish. They will accuse you of having an attitude. They will say things that you're mean. They'll say that, just make up things based off things that you absolutely have no control over. You have no control over your race. You have no control over your economical background at that moment in life. There may be some things that you're struggling with. You have no control over certain aspects of your life when it comes to certain things. You also have no control over the narcissist. So when they do these things, they have to convince the enablers that you are the problem or you are a problem, okay? Because of the fact that they want to be seen as a victim, okay? Many narcissistic people love to play any role that is going to get them some attention, okay? Because ultimately, this is what they want. They want you exiled. They want you out of the picture. They don't want people to see you in a positive light, because the minute the narcissist laid eyes on you, they knew that there was something special about you, okay? The narcissist knew that you were unique. The narcissist knew that people were going to like you. The narcissist also knew that you were a person that has discernment, that you can differentiate the real from the fake. Okay? And they don't want you coming into an environment where everybody's wearing masks and you're bringing your authentic self in that environment, giving anybody inspiration. This is what they don't want. They don't need you giving people any ideas about being authentic. Okay? Because narcissistic people have a deeper issue than people really know. Narcissists need people to behave one way because they are black and white thinkers. This is something that narcissists know that is very strange about them. They can tell that there's something innately unhinged about them. They can see that there's something wrong with them. And this is the reason why they have to control everything around them, because they don't understand things that people with empathy understand. Okay? So this is why they have to control you, because they need you to present yourself a way that they can understand you. Okay? So what they do is they have to get people to conform into their ways of black and white thinking. You are either this or you are either that. And I like to call it not just black and white thinking, but what also works for them is statistically thinking. Thinking based off statistics. They need a rule to measure their stance with. Okay? They need rules. This race is better than this race. These people are better than these people. This stereotype is better than this stereotype. Okay? This is what they need. They need this stuff to what? Identify these things. They need to be able to identify certain things where they measure themselves. Okay? Now, what happens is oftentimes with enablers is they get caught up in the web of the narcissist. Okay? And when you are a victim, the kind of victim that isn't going to do things according to what the narcissist wants, because this is what you have to understand, you guys. When you're dealing with people who are narcissistic, they want you to go back and forth with them. Because you know why? Narcissistic people, they love to play in the mud. They are the kind of people that are antagonistic. They want to strip you away from anything that you're focused on. What the narcissist wants to do is they want to distract you. Okay? When you are focused on a goal, because this is the reason why they're attacking you. They're attacking you because they know that you have a purpose. They know that you're focused on something. And in many cases, they'll attack you because of the fact that they can't get your attention. They want to be a part of your life. They want to destroy you from the inside out, and you won't even let them in the club. You know, you're not even inviting them in your space. So now they're trying to create drama because they want to get close to you. They want to force themselves onto you. This is what typically happens when people are being bullied. When you're being bullied, in most cases, they want you to get to a point where you want the bullying to stop, where you just allow the narcissist to control your entire life. And the interesting thing about it is bullying doesn't only happen with children, you guys. Adult bullies are the worst. Imagine a grown adult coming to try to bully you as an adult. And they think that you're supposed to be afraid of them. You're an adult. You're no longer in grade school. And this is the thing about narcissistic individuals is they're very immature. They think that they have the ability to control another adult. You're an adult. So what tends to happen is that the enablers support the narcissist. Okay? And this is where you hear the violins. Now you're heartbroken because you're like, dang, I thought that they were, cool. I thought that I thought this was a sensible person. But the way that the narcissist painted that narrative, you guys, and then they also may have had false witnesses because they're, again, flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are false witnesses. This is why you guys have to learn this right here. You think that the kind of people that narcissists use and the kind of people that narcissists are, that it's obvious that they're snakish. But the thing is about it, a lot of people who are narcissistic, they appear as angels of light. They're very soft-spoken. They are the kind of people that are well put together. They're handsome. They're beautiful. They're the kind of people that people like. They are the kind of people that shows up in a way that is, they basically present themselves as who you truly are. They're showing up as the you. The person that you truly are is the person that they pretend to be. So when people are witnessing this and they can see the fact that you are who you are, which means that people who aren't influenced by the narcissist, they know that you aren't that kind of person. These are the kind of people that the narcissist isn't going to go to. Because the narcissist knows that these are the kind of people that actually know you. They can judge for themselves. They're not having it. Okay? But then on the other hand, there are people that are kind of open to it. Enablers are sometimes people who are insecure. Okay? These are the kind of people that the narcissist may have done nice things for. These are the kind of people that want to fit in. These are the kind of people that, feel that they ought to fight for justice. This is why many a times when you are a person that is like, you stand for something and you are a person of integrity, the narcissist wants you on their side because of the fact that they know that you are a loyal person. This is why they try to fight you when you don't accept them, because of the fact that they want that support from you. They know that you are, in fact, the kind of person that loves hard. And they want to know, why don't you love me? Why didn't you accept me? And, in some cases, it's because we can see right through them. We can see through them. And when we see that a person is crafty and we get a sense like this, where the hair sticks up on the back of your neck, where you're feeling these body sensations and you're like, I feel uneasy around this person. Or you feel a dark presence there. Or you can feel an individual seething underneath the smile, where you can feel the envy just draping off of them, and you go the other way. You want to avoid those kind of things because you are someone who's been in a situation and you have had many encounters with narcissists. And the thing is about it is that narcissistic people typically think that you don't know anything about narcissism. Narcissists feel that they are the cleverest person in the room. They feel like they are the only one that knows things. They feel that everyone's an idiot and they know everything. Like they have some cheat code to life, So with that, oftentimes it works. It works. There are times that it works. It has worked for them for many years. And the thing is about it is narcissism is so prevalent these days where people are actually doing research. People are on to narcissists now. You're not going to do things in ways that you were able to do them before. And this is the thing where people are catching up. You have to think about it. Before these were individuals who were able to bully people and to silence them and to do certain things to confuse them and different things of that sort. Now, these days, people aren't really willing to surrender. They're not thinking that maybe you're misguided or maybe you need to be loved and different things of that sort. We're on to you guys. We know that you guys are narcissists. Sometimes there are certain instances where you can just clearly just be in the same vicinity. You can be in the same vicinity with a narcissistic individual and you can feel the fact that there's something off here. There's a dark presence here. There's something about this person. The thing is about it is, this is where you guys have to really thank God by the fact that you did not give this person access to you. When you have denied them, or maybe you haven't denied them. Maybe you like to go slow. And this person got upset, and the amount of harm that they've done just based off that one thing where they felt slighted. Like it didn't feel like you didn't bow down, oh, your royal highness or master, you know, or you didn't present them in a certain way. Now they're attacking you. They're doing things that are absolutely insane. This is the person presenting themselves to you. You guys ought not to be confused or to be like, wow, like this is crazy. This is crazy, you guys. For a person to actually carry out the measure of that just because you didn't allow them to have access to you. You have to think about how sick you have to be. How low do you think of yourself as an individual? That your self-esteem is so low that you needed this person's validations, and now you're harming someone because they didn't make you feel superior. This is the thing that you guys have to think about. These are not rational people. There's something wrong. And for you to actually try to reason with that, you're having interventions, guys, for things that never happened. You're trying to figure out something that you've done to a person that never happened. What is there to figure out? You know, and what tends to bottle us up and have us ensnared is the confusion. It's just dust, you guys. Take your hand and just wipe it on across and keep going in a direction where you were ultimately headed. Because this is what it is. It is a distraction from the purpose why you're created. You're not on this earth for the narcissist purpose. You're not on them to pet and to brush their hair all day and to tell them how great they are. This is not why you're here. You're not here to be anyone's pleasure. You're here for purpose. You have a goal in life, a mission that God has created for you to be on this earth. And it's certainly not to be a slave to a narcissist. So enablers will support their narcissist. And the narcissist is over there with their feet kicked up, reclined back in a chair, getting fanned by the enablers. The flying monkeys are the bodyguards. Everybody is just in absolute delusion. Okay, they bought the lie. Now you're there and you're curious as to what the hell is happening right now, right? And what's happening is there is no support for you. This is why it is very important, you guys. This is what the narcissist wants. The narcissist doesn't want you to go over in the corner and lick your wounds and heal. The narcissist doesn't want that. The narcissist doesn't want you to self-care, to take care of yourself and to actually build yourself up. The narcissist doesn't want you to disengage because you know for a fact that they're lying on you and you know that you're nothing of what they stated that you are. The narcissist doesn't want that. What the narcissist wants is they want you to go and grab a fan too and to stand there to fan them, or better yet, for you to bow down on your knees and to apologize for something that never happened. That's what the narcissist wants you to do. So when you have a narcissistic mother, what she wants you to do is she wants you to be grateful, even though she hasn't been the best mother. The narcissistic father wants you to do what? To be grateful, even though he wasn't the best father. Your siblings, they want you to be grateful. Your spouse, they want you to be grateful. Regardless of, it doesn't matter what they said. Okay? Because you know why? They have the majority of people on their side. So whatever false that they're labeling as truth is bond. Okay? Now what you have to do is you have to gain a sense of independence. This is where now you're saying, okay, clearly I'm not going to get the support from these people. Everybody's turned on me. These were people that knew me in some cases, and some of these people don't know you at all, which is what makes it very interesting that people can behave this way and not have any idea of who you are as an individual. But narcissists know the power and the strength in numbers. Okay? See, I'm the kind of person I don't go by numbers. I can see something and I don't need a group of people to tell me, because I know that an entire group of people can lie on one person. I've seen it and I've also been that person. I have a mind of my own. I don't group think. And there are a lot of people who are group thinkers. Regardless of what they see, there are people who will literally see that you are honest and that you are a good person. Not a perfect person, because nobody's perfect. But they can also see that, in fact, maybe you don't even care about what's happening. Some of us simply just don't care. And they can see that you don't. But because of whatever biases that they have against you, some people are literally upset with you guys because of the fact that you didn't explain your side of the story. Again, they're narcissists too. When these things are happening, where people are bamboozled by the narcissist, this is information that they're supposed to gain about themselves. Everybody wants to look at the narcissist. But guess what? Everybody is supposed to learn a lesson in this scenario. The lesson is that you thought a specific way about a person based off what another individual told you. Why did you think that way? Why did you feel that the narcissist was more superior than the other individual? Why did you feel that the other individual would do something like that? These are things that you have to think about. These are scenarios that I too myself have been in. some people will actually support the narcissist. Again, flying monkeys will support the narcissist knowing that the narcissist is absolutely wrong. But there's a benefit there. Okay? So when enablers eventually, when you are a person who does not explain yourself, okay? You're not willing to explain yourself. Enablers get offended by that. Now I'm going to tell you guys why enablers get offended by that. Some enablers feel that they want you to explain things because they're actually confused. Okay? I'll give you guys that. Because they're actually confused. So they want to know, why aren't you explaining yourself? They would explain themselves. And see, there are a lot of people, again, that think that everybody is supposed to respond the way that they respond to things. We live in a society where people think that all people are supposed to be the same. If you're not guilty, then explain yourself. But the narcissist has already prepped them anyhow for the things that you're going to say anyways, because you know why? They're lying on you. So they're basically going to say everything that they said about you that you're saying about them is a lie. Okay? Everything is already regurgitated. So they have already set the floor for anything possible that could happen in a scenario. Okay? Because this is what they are, master manipulators. They plan things and they expect you to fall in line with their plans. Okay? They're evil. This is what they do. They've been doing this for a really long time, you guys. This is the reason why your family is so divided. Everybody's in disarray. Nobody gets along. You and your siblings can't even have a conversation. Probably never really had a deep conversation because your mother has caused so much division in that family dynamic. Okay? This is what they do. They love division because they like the attention that they get from everyone. Nobody likes each other, but everybody loves the narcissist. Right? This is how it goes. So enablers do have a possibility to become a flying monkey. And this is when they're being revealed. This is now they're being faced with who they truly are, because they feel justified by the fact that you didn't explain yourself, that you didn't try to appease to them. Now, hold on. Wait a second. Is that a little bit of narcissism that I see there? Is there some narcissism up in there? Because see, they don't think that they're capable of having that. And this is where a lot of people think that they are actually good people, you guys. Because I'm going to tie into the nice narcissist at a later date. There are a lot of people who were nice up until they met you. Up until they met you. And with many enablers is they turn at a certain point because of the fact that they feel like, why aren't you explaining yourself to me? As if they're the judge of the matter. And this is what the narcissist does. The narcissist puts them in a false position of being a judge. Yeah, the narcissist will, you're a reasonable person. Could you intervene? Maybe we can have an intervention. And the narcissist does this because they want access to you. All of these false interventions and different things of that sort, this mediation and stuff, you guys got to cut that. You got to cut it. If a person can come up with an entire storyline as to who you are as an individual and things are just absolutely out of control, why are you having an intervention with this person? This is a psychopath. How did you even get your mind to believe things that never happened? Because you're offended, so you were that exacerbated because a person didn't find you interesting, that you created all of this chaos in your mind. That is somebody that I do not want to communicate with. That is somebody I absolutely want to avoid. And many of you guys are sitting there trying to wrap your mind and trying to understand exactly what's happening when there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. You're sitting with a person who's absolutely delusional and you're trying to reason with it. There's nothing to reason with, darling, because there was never an issue. They have an issue. You don't. So an enabler eventually becomes a flying monkey because you're not explaining yourself to them. You're not. Why aren't you explaining yourself? Why aren't you defending yourself? Because you know that no matter what it is that you say and no matter what it is that you do, that they're going to believe the narcissist. You know that. You know that. Another thing you also know is that you know your truth. You know that these people should have the sense enough to observe a situation and not to assume that a person is awake and they've never seen you do the things that the narcissist has claimed that you've done. Come on now, these people are your siblings. Like, you should know me. You should know that I would never do anything like that. But then again, it goes back to this. What is it in you, within you, that the vendetta or the charge that you actually have unconsciously against me? You have to think about this. What is this unconscious charge that this person has against you? Because this is what the narcissist uses. The narcissist uses things that is ultimately embedded or hidden within the enabler. What's hidden in there? Are you racist? Do you think a specific way about certain people? Are you biased about certain things? Let's see. Let me see what I can use to my advantage with this person, because I know that this person doesn't like these specific kind of people. So I'm going to say something about this. You see? And many enablers find out after everything that they've done, because they've done really malicious things to you guys. After everything that they've done, after they've co-signed shenanigans, after they've co-signed nonsense, they come to the realization that the narcissist lied. Woohoo. Your mother lied. Your father, your friends, your family, co-workers, people that you absolutely have no contact with, they lied. And they attacked you based off a lie. Yeah. What will you do now? What will they do? What will they do now in this scenario? Now, and a major surprise to you guys, okay? Because this is surprise. Here you go, you guys. Here it is. Some individuals will actually become further upset with you. They'll become further upset with you. You know why? Because they don't have any excuse as to why they mistreated you. And they took it too far. So, I hope that this message has been informative to you guys. And I will be back at a later date. I love you. Bye.